Godzilla vs. Kong was directed by Adam Wingard and was released back in 2021 and serves as a remake to the original 1960s film King Kong vs. Godzilla. So after Godzilla strangely attacks and destroys the Apex facility in Florida, the CEO of Apex, Walter Simmons, hires a former Monarch scientist named Dr. Nathan Lind to lead an expedition to locate the Hollow Earth in order to find an energy source that could be used against Godzilla. Dr. Lind believes the best chance to locate Hollow Earth is through Kong, and after removing Kong from Skull Island, that attracts the attention of Godzilla, and the two meet up and engage in battle. So this is more of a revisited review for me because I actually did review this film a couple of years back when it first released. However, my thoughts on this film have changed after a recent rewatch, so I thought it'd be best to review it again. Originally, I thought that this was actually one of the weaker films in the Monarch Monsterverse series, but again, after a recent rewatch, I actually think it's actually one of the best films in the series. So out of all the films in this series, I actually enjoy this film's characters more than in the previous films because I appreciate that we actually have a character who has an established connection to one of the Titans. We have a young girl named Gia, who is a native of Skull Island, that is able to successfully communicate with Kong. And then there's also my personal favorite character in this film, Bernie, who is played by Brian Tyree Henry. I really enjoyed his performance. It was a good blend of serious and humor, but I will say I do have one complaint in that Bernie plays a employee of Apex, and he's also the host of a Titan conspiracy theory show called the Titan Truth Podcast. And I actually had to go back and re-listen to some of his podcast entries in the film, and he states in his episodes that he is an employee of Apex who is anonymous and hiding in plain sight and is attempting to expose Apex's sinister activities. And personally, I didn't really think that that was really the smartest of choices because I just felt like that was just drawing too much unwanted attention to him. Because I feel like if I was the CEO of this vast corporation and I heard that there was an employee who's hosting this podcast trying to expose all of our activities, I don't know. I feel like I would start conducting investigations or at least, upgrading security measures. When I originally reviewed this film a couple years back, I also commented that I felt like the story was one of the weakest in the whole series. But again, after a rewatch, I actually think it's actually one of the better stories throughout the whole series. But again, I still think it's just a little out there, especially with the whole concept of Hollow Earth and the journey to get there. I don't know. It just felt like it was just adding a Jules Verne journey at the center of the earth like vibe to the story. And spoiler alert, if you have not yet seen the film, I actually did like that they included Mechagodzilla in this film. However, I wasn't really the biggest fan of how they went about it. The whole concept ties back into a post-credit scene that was in Godzilla King of the Monsters, where Apex has taken possession of one of King Ghidorah's skulls and is using it to create some type of psionic link to a human host that is able to control Mechagodzilla. It just felt a little convoluted. And one of my biggest complaints about this film is that it didn't really do the best job at upping the stakes. It just made things too easy for some of the characters, such as, we need to try to locate this energy source in Hollow Earth, but Hollow Earth is a little hard to get to. But hey, we have this magical technology that is able to get us there and almost no problem at all. Or, we need to have Godzilla and Kong fight again, but Godzilla's in Hong Kong and Kong is in Hollow Earth. But hey, Godzilla just blasted a hole through the earth leading into Hollow Earth with his atomic breath, and that just conveniently creates a path for Kong to get to so that way they can fight again. Or Godzilla defeats Kong and almost kills him. His heart starts to slow. We need something to jumpstart his heart. Hey, look, we have this futuristic ship that we use to get to Hollow Earth that will produce enough energy to jumpstart Kong's heart. Stuff like that. But the film itself is a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the fight scenes, especially between Kong and Godzilla. I personally liked all of the battle scenes, whether it was the first scene where they meet at sea or the second scene where they fight in Hong Kong. Both of them were just beautifully done. It was epic. I was on the edge of my seat. It was just amazing. I do have one nitpick. When we see Kong and Godzilla fight at sea for the first time, I'm finding it really hard to believe that this one ship was able to support the weight of both Godzilla and Kong combined. I'm not an expert in physics by any means, but I kind of feel like with both of their weights combined, that ship should have sank. But what do I know? But overall, guys, I thought this film was a lot of fun. And again, definitely one of the better films in this series. So I definitely recommend that you guys check this one out. I'm going to give Godzilla vs. Kong a B. But guys, that's going to do it for my review today. Thank you so much for checking out this review. I hope that you enjoyed it and found it helpful. And if you did, be sure to hit that like button. And if you've seen this film, then be sure to post your thoughts on it down in the comments below. And if you're new to my channel and you're enjoying my content, then be sure to hit that subscribe button. But guys, thanks again, and be sure to stay tuned for this weekend. I'll be posting my review for Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire. Thanks so much, guys. I'll see you next time.